From Kern Government Television, welcome to this week's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting. Originating from the Kern County Administrative Center, located at 1115 Truxtun Avenue in Bakersfield, California. Grounded in ideas, energy, and innovation, Kern County's vision is to be a driving force for the world's fifth largest economy, and our mission is to exceed expectations of the communities we serve, changing the way they feel about government, those who manage it, and the services it provides. Today's Board of Supervisors meeting will convene momentarily.
Okay. Good morning. I'm back. Good morning and welcome to the regular Tuesday board meeting, 9 a.m. session for, oh my goodness, February 24th. I'm a little rusty here. Supervisor Peters, or Chair Peters, is out sick this morning. And he is taking care of himself. He has a little baby at home, as you know, so he needs to be really extra cautious. He's at home and he will not be here, but I'll be taking care of you today. I'll do my best, I promise. We're going to begin with our roll call, as usual.
Supervisor Peters, Supervisor Parlier.
Here.
Supervisor Flores.
Here.
Supervisor Couch. Supervisor Perez.
Here. Thank you. Thank you for the warm welcome back. We're going to begin with our flag salute. And we have one of our own county family here joining us. And I have to acknowledge, Isaac, I had no idea. You are such a humble man. I am embarrassed that I didn't know these things about you. You have never bragged about them. You have never demanded that you be recognized while you are stunningly deserving. I want to apologize to you for not knowing these things and never acknowledging them before. It is an honor and a privilege to inform the community and the county family who you are and all that you have done in an incredible service capacity. Isaac D. Preston is a 16-year United States Marine Corps veteran whose life and career reflect an enduring commitment to service, leadership, and excellence. During his military career, Gunnery Sergeant Preston deployed 6 times across the globe, including 2 combat tours in Iraq. God bless you, Isaac. Where he served as a machine gunner. He also served at multiple duty stations across the United States and in Germany. He served as a senior Marine Corps martial arts instructor in Southeast Asia. That is so cool. Where he trained and mentored elite military units from allied nations, including working with the Republic of Korea Marines, Indonesian Special Forces, Singaporean units assigned to a Special Operations Task Force, and members of the Royal Thai Army. A lot of allies. He also trained Georgian military forces, enabling them to assume operational responsibilities that allowed American service members deployed to Afghanistan to safely return home. Gunnery Sergeant Preston's distinguished service is recognized through numerous awards and commendations, including the Combat Action Ribbon, Presidential Unit Citation, Joint Service Achievement Medal, National Defense Service Medal, Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal, Southwest Asia Service Medal, Sea Service Deployment Ribbon, and the Navy and Marine Corps Overseas Service Ribbon. He also earned distinction as a 6-time expert pistol and expert rifle marksman, reflecting his exceptional discipline, skill, and devotion to his craft. Following his military service, Gunnery Sergeant Preston continued his commitment to leadership and public service by earning a master's degree in business management. Today, he proudly serves the community as the Deputy Chief General Service Officer for the county, bringing the same integrity, strategic mindset, and dedication to public service that has defined his military career and his life. Thank you for your service, Isaac.
Thank you.
And thank you for leading flag salute this morning. I would ask that we please stand and that we would remain standing for a moment of silence, prayer, meditation, at the completion of the salute, whichever you prefer. Sir?
Salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Isaac.
Thank you.
Moving along this morning, our Board of Supervisors Pet of the Week, a weekly favorite here. We have my hero, Nick Cullen, the remarkable Nick Cullen, here to present to us our furry friend. Who do you got with you today?
Well, good morning, board. This is Tulip. Tulip is a puppy. She's about 6 months old. She actually just came to us just within the last couple of days. She's a super sweet dog. She's a mixed breed, but she's a beautiful blue merle color, and she's available for adoption right now at the Kern County Animal Shelter.
My good tulips are my favorite flowers. 6 months, you say?
About that, yeah.
How big will she get?
Not much bigger than she is right now.
Not much, but about how many pounds?
She's gonna be about 15 pounds full grown.
15 pounds. And when the new family gets her, what services would she have received?
So she's going to be spayed. She's going to be microchipped in case she comes up missing. She'll be returned to you. She's going to have a license for a year, which is the law. She's going to be vaccinated, and she's going to come with a complimentary pet insurance policy for the first 30 days of ownership.
My goodness, I recently tested the market on spay and neuter, and it is between $400 and $900 for a spay and neuter here in town. It is stunningly expensive. This is a remarkable, remarkable value. What is priceless in the love and friendship of this animal also comes with an incredible savings to the new pet owner. It can be responsible and save a ton of money while bringing a healthy, safe, and happy tulip, a forever tulip that will not fade. Thank you so much, Nick. Appreciate everything that you do, brother.
Hang on, Nick.
Please.
While he's here, could you ask him to explain what's going to happen? It's either today or tomorrow.
That's today.
Oh, thank you so much.
no, it's a big
Thank you,
deal.
Supervisor
Yeah.
Couch.
Well, board, this morning is World Spay Day. It's a national day of acknowledgement for the need for spay and neuter in our communities across this country. And so the way your county animal services team is participating is we are providing for the spay and neuter of currently 223 animals.
My
just today,
goodness.
just by our county team and network partners. And I can't tell you how many offspring that prevents, but it's a lot. It's astronomical.
It is astronomical. Hard to wrap our heads around. Excellent work, Nick. Thank you so much, Supervisor Couch. Supervisor Couch has inspired me to repeat again our favorite doggy quote, which is, "We love them because they know, but do not tell." And that is true about not one of us, unfortunately. So that is a priceless contribution to the beloved four-legged friends. Okay, thank you for that reminder, Supervisor Couch. And moving right along to our consent agenda. Consent matters are considered to be routine and non-controversial by county staff. The CA represents the consent agenda for the Board of Supervisors. The C represents the consent agenda for the Kern Sanitation Authority and/or Ford City Taft Heights Sanitation District and/or IHSS Public Authority. Consent items will be considered first and may be approved by one motion. If a member of the audience wishes to comment or ask questions regarding an item or items on the consent agenda, they may do so prior to a vote being taken on the consent agenda. A member of the board may remove an item from consent, and it will be considered in its listed sequence with an opportunity for any member of the public to address the board concerning the item before action is taken. A member of the public may also comment on any closed session item. Consent matters begin, and if you're following along, there are agendas at the back of the room. On page 2, items 3 through 4, as well as 7 and 8. On page 3, items 9 through 16, that's all items listed. On page 4, all items listed, 17 through 24. On page 5, item 25. Are there any members of the public who would like to comment on consent matters? Oh, I'm so sorry. 30 is being withdrawn. Thank you, Madam Clerk. I forgot about that. Item 30 is being withdrawn, will not be considered today either on consent or regular agenda. Seeing no interest in the public, I'll return to my colleagues for comment, question, or action.
Motion on consent.
Second.
Thank you, Supervisors. Would you please cast your votes?
The motion is approved. All ayes.
Excellent. Thank you so much. This morning, the illustrious Supervisor Couch will be proclaiming March 2026 as Social Work Appreciation Month in Kern County.
Motion on the proclamation.
Second.
Thank you, Supervisor Couch. And Supervisor Flores, please cast your votes.
The motion is approved. All ayes.
Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the board. Social workers tackle tough situations daily with compassion, courage, and commitment. On a daily basis, they are tasked with balancing urgent decision-making with trauma-informed care, ensuring that children are protected while families are treated with dignity and respect, and those efforts make a lasting impact not only on individual lives, but on the health and well-being and safety of our broader community. So it is my pleasure today to present this proclamation to Lito Murillo, who is our Director of Human Services. It says, a proclamation I'm referring to, says, the Board of Supervisors of the County of Kern, State of California has officially proclaimed March 2026 as Social Worker Appreciation Month in Kern County. This recognition is entered into the official board minutes, but with the signature of our chair, who happens to be absent today, but Philip Peters, as our chairman, has signed this. It is dated November 24th, 2026. I'm going to present this to Lito Murillo, and he might have some comments and also an introduction. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You bet.
Thank you, Supervisor Couch. Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Appreciate the proclamation recognizing March as Social Worker Appreciation Month. It's truly an honor and privilege to be up here to recognize the hundreds of social workers you have working for the county and the rest of the social workers that work throughout the county of Kern, whether it be hospitals or schools for that nature. So for the county of Kern, you have social workers that work at aging adult services, working in programs like in-home supportive services, adult protective services. And when you look at DHS, you have social workers that work in the employment side as well as child welfare side. And I stand here before you to just thank them so much for what they do on a day in, day out basis. I can't thank them enough. The reports that I receive through my desk, if you can only imagine the situations or circumstances, scenarios that our families face in this community, and our social workers have to navigate through all of that, trying to find resources to make sure that our kids, our elders are safe in this community. And I can't, again, express my appreciation for all the work that they do. I want to thank them for their tireless nights and weekends that they work, staying by the bedside of children that are either in hospitals, having to transport them cross-country to other family members during the holidays. I can't thank them enough for all the court reports that they write, the home visits, the crisis calls that they answer. And then I really want to extend my appreciation for them carrying the emotional burden that they carry on a day-to-day basis. Again, thank you to all the social workers that work in our community. And now I'll turn it over to Maria Bermudez, who is the Child Welfare Assistant Director.
Yay. Local hero.
Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the board. I just wanted to say thank you for this proclamation honoring the invaluable contributions of social workers. March is National Social Worker Month, celebrating the dedication and compassion and the passion of social workers, and to acknowledge and appreciate the contributions and what they do for individuals and families in the community. Social workers are the backbone of communities. They stand at the intersection of hope and action. They advocate for those that need a voice, and they're supporting those that are going through life challenges and crises. This year's theme, the national theme, is Social Workers Uplift, Defend, and Transform. I couldn't think of better words to describe a social worker. They work tirelessly to uplift individuals and families behind the scenes. Often, a lot of the work they do, people don't see. They defend the rights and the dignities of others, and they transform lives through their dedication and passion to serve individuals, the community, and families. I've had the privilege, like Lito has shared, of the firsthand incredible impact social workers have made every day. And I was trying to think of a story, and there's just so many stories to share. Lito shared, it's just the tireless nights, the passion, the dedication, the being innovative, being creative. They're asked to wear so many different hats, and they always excel at what they do. And it's a passion to serve that I could just describe the field of social work. So today and every day, we say thank you for the changes they've made in people's lives and for serving the community. So thank you for their tireless efforts, their compassion and dedication, and thank you for recognizing social workers in our community.
Well said. Very well said. Thank you, Supervisor Couch. Lito, I think you know, it goes without saying, you are absolutely beloved in this community for your heart and your standard of excellence in the service you provide to families, children in particular.
Thank you again for your continued support. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Lee. You, your team, you're a gift to this community. Thank you. Okay, moving along to item number 2, which will be presented this morning by Supervisor Flores, is a proclamation for February 2026 as Grand Jury Awareness Month. There's nobody I'm more afraid of in Kern County than the grand jury. So I'm going to say lots of nice things about you. I hope it gets me far. Welcome. It's good to see you guys, and it's so nice to have you here. Supervisor Flores?
Motion on item 2.
We have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes.
Motion is approved. All ayes.
Good morning, members of the public and board. I'm joined with some wonderful citizens from Kern County, the best of the best, from diverse backgrounds, different experiences. They've come together to share their wisdom and to serve the interests of Kern County. They serve a wonderful function, a watchdog function, an audit function, accountability. Really, the people behind me are the cornerstone of justice. And so all our county institutions, our city institutions, special districts are all better because of the work that the people here behind me do. So in honor of that work and in their volunteerism and all the hours of commitment, the Board of Supervisors of Kern County has officially proclaimed February 26 as Grand Jury Awareness Month in Kern County, signed by our Honorable Chairman, Philip Peters, and the support of all of our Board of Supervisors as well. So at this time, I'm going to present this proclamation to the foreman, Mr. Steve Bowles, and I'll have him say a few words about the grand jury this year and what this month entails and more about their function, and ultimately just gratitude from our board and from the citizens of Kern County for all the work that you do.
Well said. Good morning. Welcome.
Thank you. I am Steve Bowles. I am the foreman of this ragtag group. Like to stress that we are all volunteers. We weren't forced to be on a grand jury. We volunteered to do this, and it's to the betterment of Kern County. Comment I like to make is everyone we've dealt with the county has been receptive, have been cordial, and have been informational. And we hope to continue. And if you're available on Thursday, we will have grand jury recognition at the Liberty Bell, and it will be quite a celebration. So thank you very much. We appreciate it, and have a great day.
Thank you. Steve, I recently was interviewed by a couple of your members. They'll remain nameless today. The process is quite anonymous.
It's very secretive.
Very secretive and very professional. And I felt like I was on an episode of Law and Order. You know, I was just being grilled in my conference room. And it was really reminded of how serious grand jury members take their duties and responsibilities. Their questions were excellent. They were difficult. I felt pressed, and I felt like what I was saying really mattered, and it would be part of the repertoire of how we serve this community better. So thank you to the grand jury. The public should know that these members come from literally every corner of Kern County, some of them from an hour to 2 hours away from Kern County. They drive long distances. They put in many, many, many hours as volunteers, which is really remarkable. And they represent so many parts, generations, communities of Kern County. They really are, I think, the most representative body of Kern County that I have ever seen in service here. So we are lucky to have them. We are privileged to have their service. Thank you, Supervisor Flores. Thank you. Thank you for your service. Okay, we're going to move to our public presentations portion of today's meeting. And this portion of the meeting is reserved for members of the public to address the board on matters that are within the jurisdiction of the Board of Supervisors but are not on today's specific agenda. You know, this afternoon we will be taking up the issue of the ROV. And so we will have opportunity this afternoon to receive lengthy comment on that matter. But there are many, many, many issues that are related that we can address this morning as well in public comment. So good morning, welcome. And I see our favorite gentlemen are back in the front, and ladies. But welcome. We had a great meeting, I think very productive yesterday. I think we continue to learn more and grow, and our expertise is sharpened. So good morning, good to see you. Welcome.
Good morning, Madam Chair and board staff. I'm Glenn Clayton, C-L-A-Y-T-O-N. This morning I want to be reading from a text from the Save America Act. This is to amend the National Voter Registration Act of 1993 to require proof of United States citizenship to register an individual to vote in elections for federal office. First, document proof of United States citizenship. As used in this act, the term documentary proof of United States citizenship means with respect to the applicant for voter registration any of the following. Number one, the form of identification issued consistent with the requirements of the Real ID Act of 2005 that indicates the applicant is a citizen of the United States. Number two, a valid United States passport. Number three, the applicant's official United States military identification card, together with a United States military record of service showing that the applicant's place of birth was the United States of America. Number four, a valid government-issued photo identification card issued by a federal, state, or tribal government showing the applicant's place of birth was the United States. Number five, a valid government-issued photo identification card issued by federal, state, or tribal government other than identification described in paragraphs 1 through 4, which I covered, but only if presented with one or more of the following. A certified birth certificate issued by the state, a unit of local government in a state or tribal. Part B, requiring applicants to present documentary proof of United States citizenship under any method or voter registration in a state. The state shall not attempt and process an application to register to vote in an election for federal office unless the applicant presents documentary proof of United States citizenship with the application. Thank you.
Thank you, Glenn.
Morning, Board. Andy Hensel, Hensel. Top of the morning.
Morning.
So to continue on with the Save America Act from paragraph C, which when passed will be in the purview of the county to enact. In spite of state laws to the contrary, there's something known as the supremacy clause. So to continue. Subject to the requirements under Section 8J, each state motor vehicle license application must verify that the applicant is a citizen of the United States. And just as an aside, checking a box at the DMV is not verification. Because including the requirement that the applicant provides documentary proof and in consideration of evidence in a criminal proceeding or an immigration proceeding brought against an applicant who knowingly attempts to register to vote and knowingly makes false declaration under penalty of perjury that the applicant meets the eligibility requirements to register to vote in an election for federal office. D, requiring documentary proof of United States citizenship with National Mail Voter Registration Form, Section C of National Voter Registration Act of 1993, 52 U.S.C. 2505. The chief election official of the state shall take such steps as necessary to ensure the residents of the state are aware of the requirement to provide documentary proof of United States citizenship to register to vote in election for federal office in the state. Not later than the deadline provided by the state law for the receipt of a completed voter registration application for the election. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Morning, Mr. Shin.
Good morning, Madam Vice Chair. Good morning to the Board of Supervisors. God bless America. I am Charles Shin, retired Marine, concerned citizen. I'm going to continue with National Registration Act reading. In the case of a state which permits an individual to register to vote in an election for federal office at a polling place on the day of the election and on any day when voting, including early voting, is permitted for the election, the applicant presents documentary proof of United States citizenship to the appropriate election official at the polling place not later than the date of the election. Notification of requirement upon receiving an otherwise completed mail voter registration application form prescribed by an election assistance commission pursuant to Section 9A2. The appropriate election official shall transmit a notice of the applicant of the requirement to present documentary proof of United States citizenship under this subsection and shall include the notice instructions to enable the applicant to meet the requirement. Sharing of information. The heads of federal departments and agencies shall share information with each other with respect to an individual who is the subject of an request received under paragraph A in order to enable them to respond to that request. Investigation for purposes of removal. Secretary of Homeland Security shall conduct an investigation to determine whether to initiate removal proceedings under Section 239 of the Immigration and Nationality Act, 8 U.S.C. 1229. Removal of non-citizens from registration rolls. A state shall remove an individual who is not a citizen of the United States from the official list of eligible voters for elections for federal office held in the state at any time upon receipt of documentation or verification information that the registrant is not a United States citizen. Thank you.
Morning, Jess.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Board. My name is Jess Sanders, and I here to highlight some of the definitions, some of the proposal of hiring a new ROV under the Kern County Board of Supervisors plans organizes, directs, and coordinates the activities of the electoral department. The incumbent has the responsibility of primary, general, and special elections within Kern County and ensuring the election process is in full compliance with Kern County state and federal legal requirements. I'm just going to highlight a few of these since we're so limited on time. Plans and examples of duties is to plan and manage activities of the Kern County Elections Department. Attends meetings, conferences, and committees regarding the regulations of the voters. Prepares annual estimates and personal facilities and equipment needs for the department budget, evaluates costs, services, and supplies. Under the supplies, I think it might be mentioned that in the past few years, before 2025, we had to force 64,328 mail-out ballots that were inappropriately being mailed out because of status on the voter rolls. We need clean voter rolls. That would do a lot to save some county money. And initiate actions to provide more cost-efficient, effective procedures. A bachelor's degree is required, 4 years of university business and administration, public administration, accounting, and related fields. Hopefully, you'll consider past experience either in the department of the ROV or somebody that's already pulled an ROV somewhere, because this is not a place for learning. This is a place we need to go. Lastly, they have to have a valid ID, a license upon the appointment, and a background check. And I find that incredibly ironic since our voters don't need that to vote, but the person managing the voting system does.
Always clever, Jess. Good morning,
Madam Chair. Good morning, Board. My name is Mercy Pena, P-E-N-A, and I'm here just to piggyback on Jess's. Actually, I just want to go over a little bit the job description of the ROV, and I wanted to go into the core competencies of the position. Employees in this position will exhibit a high level of performance and capability of the following core competencies. First, leadership and integrity. I think that's very important for them to just start off there. Second one, critical and analytical thinking. I don't think we have that very much now with the new school systems that we're teaching our kids. Third, sound judgment and decision making. The next one is principles and practices of managing large-scale record keeping, which I'm going to include correct mapping. That is I'm going to repeat it again, correct mapping and distribution of the ballots of that correct mapping. The next one is principles and practices of managing, well, I already said that, I'm sorry, concepts of manual and electronic data processing systems. That person needs to be competent in doing that. If there's an error, he or she needs to stop and correct it right then and there. Don't wait the 30 days to count them. Get it done as soon as possible. The next one's communication and principles of public relations. Don't tell us at the last minute that something's going wrong. Get out there in front, if there's a problem, get out there in front of it and start promoting it, start stating what's going on. The next one's collaboration among multiple stakeholders, and then the next one is active community engagement. I don't see any community engagement. When I came in here to fill out my candidacy, there was no engagement, nothing. I just filled it out. I did my oath and walked out. That was it. We need to communicate and engage more with the community of what the importance of the candidacy and what's going on here in Kern County. Thank you.
Well said, Mercy. Thank you. Any other members of the public who would like to address the board at this time? Oh, excellent. It looks like somebody's right ahead of you, but we'll take you up right after. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning. My name is Caitlin Payne, C-A-T-L-I-N, P-A-Y-N-E. This is a call to action, bring to attention. I do have paperwork for you guys if you need that. 8 copies, correct? There we go.
Did you say Paynes?
Payne, P-A-Y-N-E.
P-A-Y-N-E, thank you.
Hello, my name is Caitlin Payne. I am here today to urge Kern County Board of Supervisors to prioritize equitable expansion of recovery, housing, and behavioral health services into rural Kern County, specifically the Kern River Valley. Kern County's most recent point-in-time count recorded over 2,200 unhoused individuals with an estimate of 20% residing outside of Bakersfield, many in the Kern River Valley and surrounding rural areas. There are 0 county-operated sober living homes or detox centers in the Kern River Valley. Residents must travel over 50 miles for most recovery, detox, and transitional housing services. Public transportation options are limited, and most individuals who need services lack reliable transportation. When nearly all funding and programs are centered in Bakersfield, rural residents are left without access to care or pathways to recovery. Bakersfield facilities become overwhelmed with clients from across the county. Families in rural communities experience avoidable crisis, incarceration, and displacement. The overall county bears higher healthcare emergency response and social service costs. Rural Kern County is ready to collaborate. Community partners, businesses, and volunteers are eager to participate in planning and implementation. A petition was distributed amongst the Kern River Valley communities, and it is evident that over 200 community members are ready and willing to support what needs to be done regarding these issues. The benefits of reducing strain on Bakersfield's emergency and behavioral health systems creates equitable access to care for all county residents, promotes local stability, safety, and economic revitalization, builds a more resilient and compassionate Kern County. We are ready to talk. We ask that Kern County help and/or advocate to allocate funding and technical assistance to establish recovery and housing programs in rural communities, support partnerships between county agencies and local nonprofits, include rural voices in countywide planning and advisory processes. Recovery, stability, and dignity shouldn't depend on your zip code. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you for your passion and your advocacy, Caitlin.
Madam Chair, can I?
Supervisor Couch?
Can we refer her letter to behavioral health?
Supervisor Couch, through the chair, I have been speaking with Ms. Payne, and she is already in contact with behavioral health and has been meeting with them and coordinating with them.
Awesome, thank you. Thank you for being here and for your letter, but I want, not but, I shouldn't say but. And I want to say, this is a tough one. So I'm glad that you have mentioned how the community wants to be engaged, because we attempted to do this in other areas of the county and we just didn't quite get the support or the traffic to justify the expense that was being made. So I'm hopeful if, that your community will really embrace this kind of the way you described. Thank you.
Thank you. We've, the Kern River Valley has personally created the Kern River Valley Homeless Resource Collaborative in order to better unify our voice towards the county and so that we're all sitting at the same table.
Wonderful. Excellent organizing.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's how you do it. Squeaky wheel, you know? That's how it works. I understand, sir, on the front row, you have a comment, and if we have others, please make your way down. We want to hear from you. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I have a few things for you here.
Okay.
to kind of-
We'll take a look at them.
I'm able to bring those. I do, but. I didn't see it on the agenda, so that's why I come at it. I wanted. Okay. I'm sorry.
No apologies, sir.
Forgot to ask that when I got
These can be confusing, the procedure. So item 26, we're going to take up as soon as public presentations is over. So you'll have plenty of time to be heard. Any other members of the public? I thought I saw someone towards the left. Or there you are. Come on down. Please state and spell your name for the record. Welcome.
Donna Herman, Hermann.
Hi, Donna.
I'm Tina Carmona, Carmona, and we do have some
Okay.
folders for each of
Bring
these.
them forward, please.
Good morning, Madam Chair
Donna.
and Board Supervisors. I am Donna, this is Tina, and we are here today. We are the Community Development Managers for the American Cancer Society, Relay for Life of Bakersfield, and we are both cancer survivors as well. So we're here today to ask for your support for our event for the Relay for Life of Bakersfield will be held May 2nd. It's our 35th year to celebrate cancer survivors and raise funds for cancer research in the community. And I'm going to let Tina talk a little bit about what Relay for Life is.
So cancer will affect 1 in 2 men and 1 in 3 women in their lifetime. And that goes across all ages, all genders, all nationalities. Cancer does not discriminate. That's why we spend so much time in this fight. Relay for Life is the signature fundraiser for the American Cancer Society, which funds the vision to end cancer as we know it for everyone. On May 2nd, we will be holding our, like she said, our 35th annual 24-hour event. We're one of the last in the nation that still runs 24 hours because cancer never sleeps, so neither do we. The idea is to bring out our community to celebrate our survivors. That first lap is just our survivors that walk around the lap with their purple shirts on, and we really applaud them and celebrate what they do. In the evening, we do our Remember celebration, and that's to remember those we have lost. We just lost my father 2 years ago, and so it's very important that we get out there and remember those that their contribution is never lost, and then to fight back. And we fight back by raising critical funds to fund the mission of research, advocacy. We have a 24-hour information line. We have Road to Recovery, which is our free rides to cancer treatment for patients. And we have our Hope Lodge program, which provides lodging when you have to go out of area for treatment. So not only do we ask for your support for awareness financially, but we would love to invite you out on May 2nd for our Survivor Lap. At the end of that Survivor Lap, we present medals to every one of our survivors, and would love for you to put medals on our survivors.
Oh, my goodness, how marvelous.
What time is the Survivor Lab?
Opening ceremony is at 8:30 and immediately follows that with the Survivor Lab. And we would love to have you, as Tina said, come out and help present the medals to these survivors. When you're out there that morning and you see that Survivor Lap, the kickoff, and it's like you see the sea of purple of everybody wearing these survivor shirts out there. So we really appreciate your support.
Thank you, Donna. So good to see you. You do
Thank
such
you.
a great job. And so thank you for sharing with us about your father. He lives on in you. Proud of you. I know he is. Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for the invitation. I'm going to beat Supervisor Couch on the medals.
There
I'll
you
get
go.
there earlier and I'll be faster than him, is my suspicion.
Thank you.
Thank you. A little healthy competition. Good morning, sir, and welcome.
Good morning. My name is Mike Guillen, Guillen. I'm here respectfully to submit certified documentations into the public record and request procedural clarification. Kern County officials and County Council previously advised me that the enforcement actions carried out by Kern County code compliance at my residence were conducted pursuant to warrants approved through the Superior Court. Following that direction, I went directly to the Kern County Superior Court and requested the corresponding judicial records. I am now returning with certified responses from the court stating that the referenced case numbers and the records cannot be located. Because entry into a private dwelling and removal of personal property occurred, it is important that the judicial authority for those actions be clearly identified so that the public record is accurate and complete. I'm not here to argue. I'm not here to assign blame. I am here respectfully requesting that the appropriate county departments review these certified findings and provide clarification so that this matter can be properly reconciled. I also welcome any appropriate communication or guidance from the county so this issue can be clearly understood and resolved. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you, sir. Supervisor Parlier.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First off, Mike, last time you were here, I had the privilege of presenting a replacement flag to you that was provided through our wonderful Public Works Department, Josh Chaplin, and I thank him for providing that. Madam Chair, I'm looking at a memo that was written December 8th, 2025 in response to Mr. Gillian. In regards to his statement, sounds like potentially a legal matter. Can you respond to that, please?
Good morning, Supervisor Parlier through the chair. We have been working with Mr. Guillen and responding to his various requests for information. We have advised Mr. Guillen that, he's welcome to file a claim against the county, but at this point, we have, looked into his matters, and we do not feel that there is any liability on behalf of on the county's part in this matter. I'm not sure if you're wanting anything more than that.
No, thank you so much. Okay. Thank you for that response.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Supervisor Parlier. Any other members of the public at this time would like to make comment? Okay, we're going to close the public hearing portion and ask my colleagues if you have any announcements or reports, for board member announcements or reports. Anybody? Okay. We're going to then move on to our remaining item on the agenda this morning. That is item number 28, and that is, 26, and that is under Treasurer Tax Collector, a hearing to determine the rescission of the tax sale deeds for parcel numbers that are listed, sold, in the March 2025 tax sale. Excuse me. Good morning, Chair, County staff. I understand we have members of the public who would like to weigh in as well at the appropriate time. We'll receive a presentation now, and then we will continue with discussion. Good morning and welcome. The floor is yours.
Good morning. Madam Chair, members of the board. So this item before you is a public hearing to determine the request for rescission of two properties sold in the March 2025 tax defaulted property auction. The winning bidder on two properties essentially has buyer's remorse and does not want the properties anymore and is requesting a rescission of the properties back to the prior owner. My office followed all requirements of the California Revenue and Taxation Code that govern the tax defaulted property auction process. And buyer's remorse does not qualify as justification for rescission. Therefore, we are recommending denial of the request. With me today is Assistant Treasurer and Tax Collector Chase Nunley, who will provide some additional details around this specific request.
Thank you, Mr. Kaufman. Excuse me. Thank you, Mr. Kaufman.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. So this is related to the March 10th through 12th, 2025 tax sale. On September 8th, 2025, our office received a rescission request from the current owners and the winning bidders requesting that we rescind the tax sale. This is a bit unusual because typically tax sale rescission requests come from the prior owner who is trying to get their property back. It's not been my experience that we've had a winning bidder come and try and give the property back after the fact. But we did get that request. We reviewed it for all of the procedural and legal requirements and determined that it would be denied. We sent a letter to them notifying of our decision, and they sent a request to have a public hearing for this rescission to be in front of the board, which is their right. The reasoning to request the rescission is based on that we did not note that the properties that they purchased were in a homeowners association, and they claimed that one of the properties is unbuildable. As Mr. Kaufman alluded to, we follow all of the revenue and taxation codes that apply to the tax sales, and the tax sale revenue taxation code is very, very specific on the processes and procedures that we have to take. We thoroughly review and exhaust all of the title researches to look for any matters that would prevent us from being able to sell a property in a tax sale. Generally speaking, After 5 years of property taxes being unpaid, we get the power to sell them, and we attempt to sell them within 4 years of obtaining that power to sell. There are no provisions that say we cannot sell a property that has a homeowners association, or that is unbuildable, or that has code violations, or any of that. It just says, once we get the power to sell, we, sell it within 4 years, with the exception of if there are title issues, such as if there's a death of an owner and the property has not been probated, if there's a bankruptcy, there are certain things that prevent us from doing that tax sale. But all of our parcels are sold as is. We have extensive terms of agreements, auction rules, FAQs, payment disclaimers that any bidder has to read and agree to prior to participating in our sale. That is Exhibit D in the packet, that the winning bidders did agree to these terms. Some of the terms that apply here, if I can just read them real quick, is prospective purchasers are urged to examine the title, location, and desirability of the properties available to their own satisfaction prior to the sale. All properties sold as is. The County of Kern makes no guarantee expressed or implied relative to the title, location, or condition of the properties for sale. These properties should not in any way be equated to real estate sales by licensed salesmen, brokers, or realtors. The county treasurer tax collector cannot guarantee the condition of the property nor assume any responsibility for conformance to codes, permits, or zoning ordinances. You should inspect the property before investing. The burden is on the purchaser to thoroughly research the property before the sale, any matters relevant to his or her decision to purchase, rather than on the county whose sole interest is the recovery of back taxes. It is also recommended that bidders consult with zoning departments of any city within which a particular parcel lies. Tax defaulted property, again, is sold as an as-is basis. As we stated in our denial letter, we don't feel that there's any legal justification for this rescission, which is why we denied it. It is important to note that we do sometimes put notes in our tax sales regarding properties, but again, it's as it relates to title issues. So that may be if we are selling a partial interest in a property, we will make a note of that. If we are selling a parcel as a set, so sometimes parcels can be landlocked and we're selling 2 parcels, and we will require that the winning bidder join the properties after the sale so that we don't have this issue going forward. And then we will note if there's an IRS lien on the property, because the IRS does have the power to foreclose on a property after the sale. It's one of the few liens that a tax sale does not wipe out, so we will make note of that. But beyond that, we do not note any kind of zoning, HOAs, accessibility, buildability, or any other property characteristics. That is on the potential bidder to do their due diligence prior to investing. So with that, our recommended action is that your board open the public hearing, receive public comment, close the public hearing, and deny the request for rescission for the tax sale back to the prior owner for parcel numbers 344, 34102, 009, and 344, 291, 18002, sold in the March 2025 tax sale, because the tax collector's office fulfilled all its legal obligations related to the sale of these parcels, and a buyer's failure to perform proper due diligence prior to purchasing the property at a tax sale does not constitute grounds for rescission. And with that, I'll turn it over to your board.
I have a question. What is what's the manner in which a person discovers that a property is within a homeowners association and limited thereof?
In this particular instance, if they had just gone to the property in question, they would have seen these particular parcels were in Bear Valley Springs. So if you go there, you know you have one access in and out. You go through a gated community. You can look at tax bills and see what special assessments are on there, if any are on there. Sometimes they will be. Or you have to look at the location of the property and look at any kind of planning documents or articles of incorporation for these parcels.
That's part of the due diligence process.
Correct.
Has the issue of homeowners association been adjudicated before? I mean, I would imagine this is not the first time this matter has been raised. What do we know about that?
I'd have to turn that over to county counsel, but I do know we did consult with Jennifer Fagey, our county counsel, prior to this. She did look into any legal case that would apply to this, and she was unable to find anything related to homeowners associations in this regard.
Okay. And you want to add to that at all, Mr. Kaufman?
No, thank you.
Okay.
Madam Chair.
Very good. Anything else from staff?
No.
Thank you. Questions at this time? Okay. Now is the opportunity for members of the public to come forward and be heard, pose your questions, or make your case to the board. Now's your opportunity. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, members of the board. My name is Portia Dominguez. That's PorschA Dominguez with a Z.
I'm Ricardo Dominguez.
Okay, good morning. And we'd like to thank you all for hearing us today. We respectfully request rescission on the tax default sale for the referenced parcels mentioned due to a material omission in the county's authorized auction listing. The basis for the request: we relied on the county's official auction listing when bidding. The listing did not disclose mandatory HOA membership in Bear Valley Springs. Mandatory HOA membership is a material encumbrance because it imposes ongoing financial obligation and enforceability use restrictions that affect value and marketability. Because that obligation was not disclosed, we were unable to make an informed bidding decision. The legal authority that grants this is under California Revenue and Tax Code, Section 3725. Rescission is authorized where there has been an error or irregularity or defect in the sale process. We respectfully submit that the omission of mandatory HOA membership from the auction listing constitutes such a defect. If rescinded, refund authority is provided under Section 3731. We're doing this in good faith. We are not buyer's remorse. We purchased other properties there, and we are very satisfied with them. This is not buyer's remorse. We've never used those words at all. And we are not alleging misconduct at all either. Upon discovering the HOA obligation, we acted promptly in good faith, which was August of that year. So the auction was in March. August of that year, get notice. And upon discovering this, September, I promptly I did my due diligence and I asked for rescission. And that was when we requested an administrative correction based on a material omission in the auction record. It's not buyer's remorse. So with that being said, Mr. Dominguez will pick up. Referring to as is.
Referring to as is.
As is, how this, it says as is, and sometimes people say buyer beware. Okay, as is referring to what is actually there.
Condition of the property.
Actually there.
Structure.
Buyer beware is nowhere there. Buyer beware is actually the paperwork on it, if we want to just be clear and for time. So.
Can I ask you, what dollar amount are we talking about? What is the annual cost associated with the homeowners association
So we
liabilities?
bought two parcels, and I believe it's $2,700 per parcel.
Annually?
Annually.
Plus
Plus-
550 in tax, on the taxes.
Yeah, so your tax bill also has Bear Valley Springs fees associated with that on top of your association fees. And so.
How did you discover the homeowners association liability?
In August, we received a letter at our PO box, and they said we owe about $7,000 additionally.
Who was the letter from?
Bear Valley Springs Association, and I also sent a copy of that, and I believe that's Exhibit C I sent in. And it wasn't buyer's remorse. It was the fact that that wasn't disclosed, and that's a material omission, defect in the sale, and that is, it may not have been, no one's maybe never done it before. There may not be any case law on it, but the law exists. Right. You know, law exists for a reason. So I feel that, it's not a feeling. It's not my feelings at all. It's the law. That it says that if when 1 year you request it, you guys can deny me, but then I have other means to go, and we did this by the law.
Understood. I want to hear from my colleagues, but I'm concerned about this case, I'll be honest. And I have not spoken to either of these individuals. I do not know them. I want to state that for the record. This is the first time I've been informed of these facts from your perspective, but I am concerned, and I'm not an expert. So I'd like to hear from my colleagues and from County Council as well. But Supervisor Parley, I see you've plugged in.
So I have a couple of questions, either to Jordan, your department, or county council, whoever is applicable, regarding the comment of material omission, the stated codes 3731, 3725, and a buyer beware omission. I heard what you said regarding that, people have to do their due diligence. I've purchased, properties in my life, and I've always had to do that, whether myself or through the real estate agent that I was using. So can you just expand on those comments?
Yeah, Supervisor Parlier through the chair. Again, the sole purpose of tax defaulted property sales is to recover back taxes. We have very specific revenue and taxation code requirements that we have to go through as far as noticing the prior owners and going through the tax sale process. The county is under no legal obligation to disclose anything about the property beyond what is included in the auction site. And what is included on the auction site are links to GIS maps to show the property, links to parcel maps to show, in addition, just general information about the property that is open to the, that is public information. We don't make specific comments about properties beyond the very few circumstances that Mr. Nunley mentioned. IRS tax liens, properties sold as a set. Partial ownership. Yeah, partial ownership. So whether a property is buildable, whether a property is zoned in a particular way, whether a property has a homeowners association, those are all not things that we disclose or make comments about. In fact, we're very careful not to make statements about properties because we haven't done research on these properties. So a typical auction has between 800 and 1,200 parcels. And so we do research on the titles to make sure that we cover and notice all parties of interest, so lien holders, and obviously anyone with a prior ownership, or we call them parties of interest. That is the due diligence that we are required to go through so that we make sure that we notice the proper parties that this sale is occurring. So our due diligence is on the title side. We do not do any further research on the property itself because that is clearly stated as the responsibility of the potential purchaser.
Thank you, Mr. Kaufman. I'd ask County Council, listening to them, it sounds like they're bringing up sort of a lemon law type defense of, I purchased this vehicle, I don't want it, I want to take it back. But in this instance, with staff's response, that isn't necessarily applicable in this case, correct?
That is correct. This is a different sale process than what you would normally go through when you purchase property through an agent or a broker, where there are title searches and things I'm trying to think of the terminology, but you go through a lot of different processes when you're purchasing a home that you're checking into these types of what is the condition and is it useful for the purposes that I want it for. That doesn't necessarily happen in a tax lien sale. It is as is, the statute is specific, 3692.3 of the Revenue and Taxation Code says all property sold under this chapter is offered and sold as is. That is it is actually in the Revenue and Taxation Code. Unfortunately, Jennifer Feige from our office did some, she's not here today. She is also ill today. But she did some extensive research on this and has assured me that and it is her legal opinion that the Treasurer Tax Collector's Office has complied with every area of law that they were required to comply with, and that it was upon the sellers, it was upon the purchasers of the property to do their due diligence. And I'm not sure how you find out if there's a homeowners association associated with a particular property, but I am aware that when looking for homes ourselves, we usually know when something has a homeowners association. And I think we just get that from public searches. But I can't speak to exactly how that process is done. But again, I can confirm that the proper processes were completed in this particular action, and that the Treasurer Tax Collector's Office has complied with the law.
So if you're purchasing a normal property, let's say, and you have a 30-day escrow, during that period, you can do your due diligence, and if you want to back out of that purchase, you can do so, potentially. But this is a little bit different, correct? This is all sales are final, kind of a thing. Okay.
Do we get
Now-
the floor?
Can I-
Do we,
No,
yeah, you guys
no,
are just,
I have a question.
and it's,
Excuse me, just one moment. Yes,
Okay.
please bring forward what you have, but as soon as the supervisor wraps up, I'll come back to you. Sir, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
You've-
just stop.
You just got to wait for a moment, okay? I mean, with all due respect. Supervisor Parlier?
You mentioned that you, if I got this right, you purchased other property in Bear Valley Springs?
Not in
No.
Bear Valley, but Willow.
in that tax,
Yeah.
in that tax auction, we
At
purchased.
the same
okay.
time.
Yes.
But
At the
not,
same time.
not there.
Yeah, and I mean, first of all, the Kern County auction's going on right now, I think, and, 600, not 800 or 1,200, just 600 homes right now for sale. And then she stated that she didn't know about what she was talking about. She stated that she didn't really know, she just kind of gave her opinion, but she said, and overall, she said she didn't know. She wasn't aware of it, so, I mean, that right there. And then also, we're stating by the law, we're just going by the laws with, 3725 and 3731. We're not,
Not guessing.
we're not
We're not
guessing.
guessing. We're not.
We're going straight by the law. And he says that they don't list anything about the properties, and you can see there, it talks about the schools. It talks about everything but a homeowners association. And if it's gonna affect the economical value or the market, it falls under buyer beware, not as is.
Right, and
As
there's,
is, I'm sorry, but as is refers to a condition of the property. Our request is concerns and materials of omission in the auction listing, not as is, no, we're not complaining about a house falling down, we're not
complaining about zoning, we're not complaining
we're not
about that.
complaining anything about that.
Understood.
So, and we're basing it on, laws that give the right to do a rescission if it falls under that certain.
But do we understand what a material defect is?
Yes.
Okay, that it's an omission, and that it's a condition that would influence a person's ability to make a decision. So,
I understand your position.
yes, ma'am.
I understand your position.
Yes, ma'am.
Supervisor, did you have anything else you wanted to add at this point?
Well, I would just say that county council, so you're looking at the county council right here. So she is in charge, runs a department, has multiple specialist attorneys that specialize in different fields within her department, from criminal law to real estate law to et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, I was just listening to her, she said she didn't know.
Well,
again.
that's why she has her specialist.
Right, okay.
So as a politician up here, I'm a generalist, and I rely on all the specialists out here to help me make a decision. And her as a department head does the same thing. So Kendra, can you talk a little bit about the specialists that reviewed this?
Yes, Jennifer Feige represents the Treasurer Tax Assessor's Office. And she is the specialist in that area and has been working with them on this matter and has extensively researched it and has reported to me that they have completed their duties as required by the law. and that, that the tax sale was handled appropriately in this matter. As far as to, what I said I wasn't aware of, what I'm not aware of is how they would find out if something is, has a homeowners association attached to it. I'm not sure where you go to find that information, but I do believe it's out there if you do your due diligence. That was my statement.
Madam Chair, do you have some?
I think isn't any question in my mind that Mr. Kaufman and his body did everything appropriate by the law. There's no question in my mind about it, and I see no bad faith on behalf of the county in any regard, or from our county council. These are competent, smart people, as you know. My issue is we have citizens before us today who have presented a reasonable case, in my opinion, that they were not necessarily reasonably informed of what is a substantial dollar amount associated with these properties. It's not explicit, it's not in the documents. I think even if you were inclined to think that the county did its bare minimum and met its threshold, I think for me personally, that the interests of the public, the interests of the citizens that are before us saying they were not reasonably informed, to me outweighs the minimum threshold met by the county and the good faith of the county, which I believe we completely engaged in here. But to me, they've made a reasonable case that they were not informed, and they are the less powerful actor in this process. And so I am inclined to side with citizens and the public in this matter, because I do believe there is a question here. And in such instances, I'm on the side with the public.
Madam County Counsel, so going forward with that, so we don't say buyer beware. We say, what was the phrase again, Jordan?
There's a lot of terms in the terms and conditions that are related to that, such as, the properties are sold as is. It is the responsibility of the buyer to do all their due diligence. And those terms and conditions that are included in the packet were signed by the purchaser.
County Counsel, do we believe that going forward we should add something like that, or are we in line with the 58 counties throughout California that do similar things?
I believe that we are in line with the other counties that do similar items. My concern is that we would be placing a burden on the Treasurer Tax Collector's Office on these tax liens to do certain types of search. They already do a title search, but it would require that they do other types of searches and possibly, gosh, I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but when you buy a house, you hire someone to.
Title search?
Not a title search. You're looking for appraisals, and you're looking for defects and things of that nature to make sure that it meets all the safety requirements and other types of issues that might come with buying a house. We're placing that burden on the Treasurer Tax Collector's Office. And I believe that is a burden that's not necessarily required under the statutes.
Okay.
I mean, could they add some additional language? They could, if that is the direction your board is willing to go, but I do not believe that it's required under the statutes.
Would we be setting a precedent? It sounded like this hasn't happened before. Would this create a precedent with other properties, or open the floodgates to people saying, anything, it falls back onto us and it's then our?
Possibly, yes.
Okay.
We tend to review them case by case. Of course,
Yeah.
no two facts are the same.
Well, you definitely have your public defender hat on today.
I know Supervisor Couch is waiting. Do you want to hear from him?
Yeah, I absolutely do.
Me too.
Supervisor Couch?
Thank you. I want to ask you a couple questions. The laws that you cite, I want to get this on the record, because the comment that you made about other remedies leads me to think we need to have a couple of things on the record for sure. What were the laws that you cited?
Okay.
The
Under
numbers.
California Revenue and Taxation Code, Section 3725, a rescission is authorized where there has been an error or.
You don't need to read it all to me. I just need to know the
Oh,
numbers.
3725 and 3731.
Okay. And those are specific to tax lien sales, correct?
Yes,
And
for
rescission.
rescission.
You agree with that?
Yes.
Okay.
And it does fall under.
Just for fun, I shouldn't say fun because this is not fun. I just asked Grok, which is X's AI, about a property in the area that you just mentioned and asked it, would it likely be in an HOA, a homeowners association? And within about 1.5 seconds, it told me yes. Virtually all properties in that area would be in the HOA. So in my view, that's a reasonable amount of effort to put into researching this that would have at least led you to be wary of the fact that there's probably an HOA involved here.
With all due respect, that's today, and that wasn't at that time. We're not aware of
Really?
that AI service. We
Yeah,
just
yeah.
they just rolled out with
It's been-
ChatGPT and all that.
It's been around for a
I mean,
little while.
it's
About a
not
year
something
ago.
that's, a year ago.
Okay,
We didn't-
all
we
right.
didn't-
Let's assume that you're right about that. It only took 1.5 seconds.
But-
There might have been other searches that could have been done. Certainly.
Such as we
Any
relied
type
on.
of search, any
we
type
relied-
of search.
I
Whether-
gave her the paper.
Just drive,
I did a,
Property search.
Yeah,
while
we did
I'm
property
speaking,
search,
I would
yes.
appreciate it if you didn't talk over the top of me.
I'm
Because
sorry.
I tried not to talk over, I
Absolutely.
didn't talk over the top of you while you were speaking at all. So I think the onus is on you. And by the way, just local government 101, I don't think we have the right to tell that guy right over there, who's our elected treasurer tax collector, how to run his office or how to do anything really in his office. That's not our purview. We get to sit here as a quasi-judicial body and hear evidence and hear from our staff and make a decision. But I don't think we get, correct me if I'm wrong, Madam, or County Counsel, we don't get to set policy for the treasurer tax collector on what to include, what information they ought to be including more than what they are already including. Am I right or am I wrong about that?
You are correct. He is an elected official who runs his office.
So this is the treasurer tax collector's responsibility to follow the revenue and taxation code. If there is no tax law, we will end up in closed session, possibly discussing this and making some, if there is no court case or case law, we will end up in closed session and potentially making some if some needs to be made, I guess. But until then, I really have to rely on our elected treasurer tax collector, who is an expert in this field, and our county council. So I'm going to support the staff's recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Couch. Supervisor Flores.
Thank you. Actually, this turned out to be a very interesting item. Sorry for all this. I appreciate you coming. Very, very, very important. Thank you for your report. Thank you, County Council. This is unique because this is an area in District 2, so I'm going to give my colleague a lot of deference. However, this is also precedent setting for the entire county, depending on future transactions and sales and liens and what have you. So County Council was clear, our tax collector was clear. Their position is the lack of disclosure of an HOA membership does not constitute an error. You disagree with that position. Council backs up our elected official. We've never done that before, and they're resolute in maintaining it's not an error. So I think there is a degree of responsibility upon those that purchase properties to do due diligence, to do inspections, to do, or get a real estate agent, or make a phone call to an association to check on that. So moving forward, and I really identify with your position, and I identify with Supervisor Perez's comments, because we're on the, I think we have a good position. Do we have the discretion? Yes, but this is bigger now. So moving forward, I don't believe the county should entertain more processes, more private investigation, more layers other than what they have to do. They have fulfilled their legal obligation. They're not going to be doing property searches and intel and research on the myriad of properties moving forward that are for sale. They're going to handle the transaction. The purchaser, they're responsible for due diligence moving forward. They should do the research, not the county. So I'm open to ideas, but I'm not going to mandate that the county go do research on who's an HOA and who's not and who's doing. That's not our side of the fence. That's your side of the fence, respectfully speaking. You know, can we put a qualifier that says, you know, as a reminder, you may want to go check if there's an HOA. You may want to do research to politely remind the public. I'm open to that. I think that would be a good government exercise. That would help both parties. But I'm not going to mandate our staff to go do the research of others. So those are my thoughts, and thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you, Supervisor
Thank
Flores. I'm sorry, yes,
Oh, I
ma'am.
said thank you. I was saying thank you.
Oh, thank you, no problem. Supervisor Parlier.
Well, I absolutely empathize with your position. I do. And I respect my colleagues' remarks. They were very informative, along with staff, Jordan, you and your department, and county council. It's not an easy decision. It's one of those wobblers, but I fall on the side of staff, and I make a recommendation. I make a motion that we accept staff recommendation.
Okay, before we hear from, or before we entertain a motion, are there any other members of the public that would like to weigh in on this matter? Okay, would you like to make any closing remarks? You've heard from the supervisors, and you probably have a sense of how this is going. But would you like to place anything else on the record for now?
Yes, we are listening to you all, and we appreciate you guys giving us the opportunity. But it just seems as though we're not, it seems like nobody wants to do it because they don't want to change precedent. They don't want to open the floodgates. We are not asking for that. San Diego does auctions. They have 686 properties. 600 of them are timeshares. They say 600 are timeshares, 80 are improved properties, 6 are homes and lots. We're not asking anyone to go above and beyond their job. We're just saying that material defect was there. It was omitted. Buyer beware and as is are two different things. It's not the same thing. It refers to two different things. And simple buyer beware would be just enough. That's simple.
Understood. Thank you, ma'am. I'm going to close the public hearing. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
And what did you just want to say?
Well, I'm just thinking that
You guys,
how everybody keeps saying and doesn't really know what they're really talking about. We all agree that you got a taxation code section 3725 and you got another tax, you guys are ignoring the laws.
because it doesn't feel
You know,
right.
Just because it doesn't feel right, you're doing it
It's
all
not
just because you don't want to
feelings.
upset them.
It's not feelings, it's the law.
It
It's
seems to
the
be.
law.
So,
It's the
I mean,
law.
we're just doing our due diligence.
I
and
understand.
we're working our way up.
I understand. This body has heard from you.
Yes,
and
we
we're
appreciate
close-
it.
of
Thank you,
course.
ma'am.
Close the
And
public
thank
hearing.
you.
I'm on your side. I side with you.
Yes, ma'am.
I always side on the side of the underdog as it relates to the power of the government.
And we just want to do what's right.
But I'm outnumbered up here, so my apologies to you. We do have a motion. Do we have a second?
I will second because I would also like to do what's right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes.
3 ayes, 1 no. Supervisor Perez.
Best of luck to you guys.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to move on. That brings us to the end of this morning's agenda. We're going to adjourn to close, and we will be back at 2 p.m. So Supervisor Couch, if you'll make a motion to adjourn. Motion. We are adjourned till 2 p.m.